We'll be showing you how to assemble the Sela Design 8 GPU open air frame. So this is the box you will receive, and you open it up and you view under the cardboard. You'll see a manual wrote in English, complete English manual, pictures. It'll tell you every piece you should receive, exactly how to assemble everything. You'll receive all the metal, the aluminum pieces. You'll receive a box with every single screw, along with plastics, two tools you'll need. You'll also need a Phillips head screwdriver along with these two Allen keys. You'll receive a power button. If you don't already have a power button on your motherboard, you'll receive a power button and reset button. You'll receive a pair of fabric gloves. This is so you do not put fingerprints all over your acrylic pieces. Some legs to put on top to prevent cutting if you're only going to have one unit and you're not going to stack them. Aluminum. And under this styrofoam piece, you'll see all your acrylic pieces. They still have the little pieces of paper. You just have to peel those off and wear gloves when you're peeling them so you don't put any fingerprints on it. So the first step will be to open up your little kit with all your tools. And we'll start it from the beginning. So first step would be to grab your corner pieces and these tools, and you'll want to make 18 of these. So you'll take 18 of these corner pieces out. You'll take 18 of these corner aluminum pieces out. You'll want to build 18 of these. This is everything you'll need for the entire kit. There's 18. And then you'll need pieces Q6. You'll need these pieces. You'll also need Q5 screws. So we'll start assembling 18 of those. So what you do, you'll take two of these little squares, you'll take two squares, two of the Q5 screws, and you'll attach them to this. So you'll put the screw in through this, and then you'll take this piece, you want to twist it on just until it goes flat. So you want to twist on just until it goes flat, and then you'll repeat it on the other side. Then you repeat that for 18 of these pieces. So you uncap every single plastic and put them together. You'll want to arrange them by dimension. Four of the shorter ones, four of the long, medium-sized ones, then you will have four of these very long ones. So uncap each one out of this plastic. The reason we're assembling 18 of these right away is just to make it easier while building. If you assemble all 18, you don't have to worry about making any more during the entire building process. It'll save you time as we go. 18 is the total amount of these that you do need to build right now. So now that you have 18 of these assembled, you're ready to start on your next step. You will have 2 left over, along with the screws for 2. Those are just extras, just in case you ever lose a piece or something goes wrong. Or a piece breaks, which in reality it shouldn't break. So now your next step is to take one of these, and you'll take the shortest piece and the medium length, and you're gonna assemble it just like that. So you'll take the medium length first, and you'll take this piece, and you wanna hold it like that, and you'll push it through this hole, through this bottom. You'll push the flat square through. So you want to have it just like that. Then you can go ahead and tighten down this screw. And what you want to do is you want to tighten this flat and level. So you'll take the Allen key, the Allen keys that are provided. You're provided 2 Allen keys. So go ahead and take the Allen keys, and you'll go ahead and tighten this all the way up. And you want it to be nice and level, so there's no movement. Now you'll take your short length, and you'll go ahead and push the short length through the square too. Then you want to go ahead and tighten that one up too. Go ahead and tighten that one all the way up. And you want to make sure they're nice and flat together. No issues, nice and flat all through. And then finish tightening it completely. After you do that, you'll want to do it one more time. And while I'm doing that again, we're going to start peeling the acrylic. You want to first start peeling the smallest piece of acrylic, and make sure you are wearing your gloves, because the acrylic will take fingerprints very easily, but you can always clean off the fingerprints very easily with the gloves. So now you have 2 pieces. So your next step, after you have the acrylic piece peeled, you'll want to take 4 more squares and the Q7 screws. And you'll attach them to your acrylic piece. So for these squares, you'll put the screw in first, and then on the other side you will screw in this again, and you'll do that for all 4 of these holes here. Then you'll be taking your 2 long pieces, the 2 longest pieces, and you'll be attaching one to the back and then one up here to the front. So for the one on the back, you'll want to attach it to the right side first when you're facing the thing. So how you'll do that is you'll take another one of these corner pieces. You'll go ahead and push the corner piece into the right side here. You make sure the corner is facing this way. And then you want to screw that flat again. Then you'll take this piece and you'll put that through here. And as stated earlier, you want to make sure these are flat and tightened all the way down. So now that you have that one side done, you make sure everything is completely flat and fully pushed on. So you want to make sure everything is touching. It's nice and fully assembled, and make sure every single every single screw is completely tight. So now that this is completely attached, you'll be taking your first acrylic piece, and then after this you'll want to start peeling your largest piece, because that'll be the next step. So while he's peeling the largest piece, I'll show you how to attach the acrylic piece. This is what's going to hold your power supply units in. You have screw attachments for your ATX power supply, and you are also given rubber legs for your power supply to prevent any shaking or movement when attached to the acrylic. For this one, you'll want to slide this in just like that. So you'll slide this in on the outer edge of the unit. So you have it just like that. Now we'll go ahead and take your Phillips head screwdriver for this, and you'll put it right there, level. Again, you'll want it right here, level with the top. And then go ahead and tighten all your screws completely down. Now that you have that done, you'll be taking another one of these corner pieces, and you'll be attaching it to this side just like you did previously. So go ahead and attach that. Whenever dealing with your acrylic pieces, we recommend wearing the gloves so you don't have any fingerprints. If you choose not to wear the gloves, that's okay, because it's very easy. You can actually use the gloves to go ahead and wipe off the fingerprints if you want to. Or you can use any type of microfiber, any type of phone case, phone screen cleaner, Windex, anything you can use to clean your acrylic. It cleans up real easy, looks real great, real nice, especially if you have any LED boards, LED graphics cards, LED anything. So now you'll have it assembled like that. So your next step will be to take another one of the long pieces, and you now want to assemble this next long piece right here on the front. It'll go right in the center of these two. You'll want to attach it to this. You'll want to attach both of these to here first. Go ahead and tighten those down, make sure they're nice and level. Then you'll attach another corner piece onto this side. Then you'll want to go ahead and attach these corner pieces. Then for this, you want to make sure these two edges here, this one and that one, is fully flat. Then go ahead and screw it all and tighten it up. Lay it on its back to finish up and make sure it's nice and flat and tight. So now your next step will be to attach the acrylic to hold the motherboard, the solid state drive or your hard drive, or whatever type of drive you're using, and PSUs to stand on. So you'll take 4 more of the Q7 screws and 4 more of these square pieces. Now for this, you want to make sure all the side with the majority of the screws is on the right side, and you'll be putting the screws down in and then the square piece on the bottom. They'll go into all these elongated holes. Alright, and then you'll put the side with the corners, that'll go straight down. So now that that's there, you take your Phillips head screwdriver. We recommend getting these screws snug first. Not like all the other screws. All the other screws you can go ahead and tighten all the way down. But for these ones, you want to just get snug first so you can make them level and even on all sides. And make sure it's nice and flat. So now you'll go ahead and feel the sides, push them nice and equal. And then make sure this is pushed all the way back. And then you'll go ahead and tighten up all the screws completely. Alright, so now that they're all screwed in, you can go ahead and assemble your motherboards. In the instructions it tells you exactly what screws. We'll have another video on that next of how to fully assemble an 8 GPU rig with a regular ATX motherboard, solid state drive, and then your 2 PSUs. So now your next step will be to grab 2 more of these shorter pieces. You want to grab 2 more of these and 2 more corners, and you want to take a tape measure. The dimension we use is 4 7/8 inches up. So go ahead and assemble these units. Go ahead and put the corner pieces on. You make sure the corner piece, it goes like this. And you tighten that fully, make sure it's nice and flat. And you'll take your tape measure. And the best way to do this one is to lay this down on its back. Take your tape measure, and you want to measure. You want to measure from the top of the acrylic, and then you'll want to go up 4 7/8 inch. That's the dimension we always use. You could always round that up to 5. It would not make an issue. You'll just have to change your measurements throughout this. You want the 4 7/8 inch to go to the bottom of this, or you can use 5 inch. Actually, for this example, we'll use 5 inches, make it nice and easy for everybody. So you'll want to go use your tape measure right next to it, and you'll go for the 5 inch. You want the 5 inch line to be right at the bottom of this. So your corner piece will go lower than the 5 inches, but the bar will not go lower than the 5 inches. And you'll want to do the same thing on the other side. Another way to do this is if you already have your PSUs and your motherboard and everything, you could go ahead and put those on first, and then you could actually put this level just above those PSUs and motherboard. You won't have to measure anything, but you will have to measure for when you do your GPUs to account for that. So now that you have those attached, go ahead and flip it on its back, on its front. Then recheck, make sure it is 5 inches again. The sides, which it is. And then now you'll want to take another one of the longest pieces and 2 more corners, and you'll be making just like this bottom piece but for up top. So you'll actually do 2 of these, so make sure it is nice and flat again. Make sure it's always nice and flat on the top. You'll be doing 2 of these with the last 2 long pieces. The last acrylic piece, you'll want to peel the paper piece off of it. So next, you want to take this, your first one, and you're going to want to push it in. And the dimension we use for this one is you want to do 3 inches from this wall, from this one. So you want to do 3 inches from there is where you want the aluminum bar to start. This is going to be support for your GPUs and the acrylic. And then you'll do it on the same on the other side. You want 3 inches, and then go ahead and tighten that one up too. And then you'll build the last one. You put the 2 corner pieces on the last one. Then you'll push this one in just the same, but you want this one to end right here at the corners and be nice and flat. Then make sure these ones are nice and flat again. You want it flat on these edges. You want it all level everywhere. Now you're done with that. Now the next step will be, now that this piece is peeled, so take more of the Q7 screws, 4 Q7 screws, and 4 of these little square pieces again, and you're going to put them in those holes again. All the elongated holes. This one, it doesn't matter which side you put up. You can do either side. You just got to make sure these corner pieces are what go in first. So now you'll slide these in through the front. You'll slide them in through right here through the front. Then slide it all the way on back. And what you want to do on this one is you don't want to push it all the way back like the motherboard. You want to make sure these corners are flat with the level of where that part it sticks in. So you want to make sure it's nice and flat there. So what we recommend is you get the screws snug, and then for these back pieces, you want to make sure they're level like that. Where they're level right here, you want to make sure they're level with the inside of this. So you'll go ahead and level those out. Make sure the sides are nice and even. Check the level. And then go ahead and tighten up the screws. Of course, if you have much larger GPUs, it might have to go out just a little bit. It have to come out a little bit further this way. But this is what we found good for any two or three fan GPUs. Now, of course, this is good for any 2 or 3 fan GPUs. Now, if you have a 1 fan GPU, you will have to push this all the way back, or a little bit closer. Not all the way back, but you will have to push it a little bit closer. That'll allow it to attach better to the metal piece right here, which we will be attaching over here, which we'll be attaching here. But for right now, you see, this board is nice and stable. We'll be attaching the front 2 support bars next. So for the front, you'll want to take this, and you'll want to attach it to the bottoms. You'll want to attach it to the bottoms this way. So you'll make sure it's nice and flat there. And go ahead and screw it on in. Make it nice and tight. And you'll go ahead and take this, and you want to lay this on its back again. That's the easiest way. And you'll want to push this part in. And then before you push that part in, you'll want to put one more of these the same direction. Then you just go ahead and let that one slide down a little bit. Don't attach that one all the way yet. And then you'll go ahead and take this, and you'll attach the bottom part first. Then now take the top one, and then you'll slide the top one in too. And then now you have your last support bar. And then you'll repeat this for the other side. Make sure it's all nice and really tight. Make sure it's nice and flat all across. So now that those are assembled, go ahead and flip it back up. And all that's left now is put the last piece, which is this. So for this one, you'll want to make these. You'll want to take those last two. And actually, you only want to assemble one block, one screw on these last two. So you'll want one screw empty. So go ahead and put it in here. And you'll want this one to be exactly 1 inch from the bottom. So you'll go ahead and line this up. And you'll want this top part to be at 1 inch. And then go ahead and screw it in. This one you can make snug and readjust it if you would like to. Just so you make sure you get that perfectly. This is where the GPUs will be attaching. So once you're at 1 inch, go ahead and make that all the way tight. And then do the same to the other side. Now you'll take this piece, put this 1 inch up. And you'll go ahead and take this last piece, and you want the screw side down and the board backwards like this. And all you want to do is you want to take 2 more of these Q7s. And you'll be screwing them in from the bottom. Hold that part flat. Steady. Okay, go ahead and screw them in from the bottom. This aluminum bar is threaded, so it'll hold nice and well. Now you're fully assembled, you're ready to put your PCIEs in and all your parts, and you'll work from there. We will be making another video on exactly where to put, on exactly how to assemble this with all your units. We'll be showing you how to assemble an 8 GPU system with 2 PSUs, 2 850 watt PSUs, and we'll show you how to power it all up, and we'll show you from there in our next video. Also, if you are not going to be stacking the units, you have these legs because all these corners are sharp to the touch. They're not sharp enough to cut you easily, but if you do fall on it or you move too fast, it will be able to scratch you. So you'll take these legs. You have a total of 8 of these that all they do is they cover those corners, prevent any scratching. So what you do is you just take these, put them on there, nice and square. You'll pop it in, and it's done. And then you'll repeat the same process for the bottom. We won't be doing it for the bottom because we will be using this as a stacked unit in the future, which you are given all the utensils to stack these units, and you can stack them as high as you want or as low as you want, and they're nice and easy to stack. And you also, if you do want, you can attach a fan assembly here. It does give you all the pieces. You take these, you attach the fans, and then you'll use these to attach the fans to the bars, and you can have a whole entire fan assembly out front. As for that, we'll catch you on the next video where we will be showing you how to attach all the PCIEs, how to attach the motherboard, where to put your solid state drive or your hard drive, and how to put in your 2 PSUs, and then how to power it on and get everything started.